Hi, I'm Tyler Powell. I'm a driver operator with Poudre Fire Authority in Fort Collins, Colorado. We're here at SVI doing a final inspection of our new heavy rescue walkthrough. We got this heavy rescue from SVI to replace a truck that was about 20 years old. And again, that was an SVI-built truck also. A unique thing about this truck that we're kind of proud of is that the guys that built this truck here in Fort Collins, this truck's gonna be protecting the people that built it. So that's kind of a unique feature that we're proud of with this truck. We'll do a little walkthrough and we'll kind of show you some of the features of what we got, how we built it, why we built it, and we'll kind of go from there. We built this truck on a Spartan Gladiator chassis. We did a 24-inch raised roof to give a good height to incorporate into the walkthrough part of the body, and also give us a lot of compartment space inside the cab and give guys inside the truck ample space to get dressed out. And we did a 67.5-inch extended cab, again, to give us a little more space in the back of the cab. We got a Cummins X15 motor in this thing, 600 horsepower. We got the biggest motor we could to power this truck. Behind it's an Allison 4000 series EBS transmission. So to go over some of the stuff we did in the cab, we spent a lot of time, and SVI worked really closely with us to nail down exactly what we were looking for. And some of the features that we'll hit on is we've gone to all diamond plate floors for durability and toughness. You know, we've all seen the rubber mat kind of stuff wear off over time, so we're starting to do diamond plate floors in all of our truck builds from here on out. Another big thing that they worked really close with us is this console layout. We decided we've gone to all of our trucks at a bare aluminum finish for, again, durability. We've had problems with finishes chipping. In this way, it's built like a tough work truck. If it gets scratched, it doesn't really matter. So we're leaving consoles and cabinets bare aluminum. SVI did a great job of building in glove holders, so we don't have to mount those things after delivery. All the flashlights got mounted exactly where we wanted them. A nice mat box in the middle. Each driver and officer both have a lid that comes up that has a storage area for themselves, but also glove dispensers right next to them. And we added a lockbox on the officer side so we can secure personal items if we need to while we're outside of the truck. So again, SVI did an amazing job working with us to really take what our vision was for these cab components and nailed them. They added these nice compartments above the officer and driver, so we can put personal crew gear, helmets, backpacks, anything like that in there to turn that kind of empty dead space into something that was useful to store gear, because storing gear is always kind of a hard thing to do inside of a cab. It always gets cluttered, so that helps alleviate some of the clutter that we have. Again, every seating position, we have power outlets for USB, for chargers. Every seat has a set of flashlights for that specific seat, cup holders, a cubby. So it turned out really, really nice. So here we are in the walkthrough part of the body of this truck. Again, one of our ideas of this truck was to keep it as simple as we could. We know equipment inventory has changed over time, and if we design a lot of specialized things, they might not fit during an equipment change in the future. So everything on this truck is really simple. Each one of these compartments only has one shelf in it that's adjustable up and down. We went with the cargo netting and buckles to expose these inner compartments, real simple. You'll see our handrails. These match the exit handrails on the cab and the rear of the body. We had SVI paint all of them red, just so it's a little bit easier. If someone slips and falls, maybe red's a little bit easier to pick out. So all of our safety rails and handrails are red. Again, diamond plate on the floor and sidewalls for the durability, because we know this truck's going to get beat up over the life of its service. We had them build a big ladder storage module. You can see it from the rear. That houses a 28-foot ladder, a 16 and a 14. And then again, with our vision of keeping this walkway as clean as we can, instead of mounting the New York hooks on the outside, we had them mounted in tubes on the inside of it, just to eliminate snag hazards walking through the body. You'll see all lights or switches for the lights are recessed mounted in the body, again, to just keep this walkway as clean and snag free as we can. The front has switches to turn lights on and off. We have red and white that are switchable and dimmable. And there's also an air conditioner in the body of this truck also to keep it cool on scene.
Oh.
So these were big airbags that we have. We have an airbag storage module on the outside, and these two bags would not fit in an exterior compartment. So because of the dead space behind the New York tools we utilized again a dead space to be efficient and made a little slot for the airbags. We had SVI put in a big skylight. It's 30 inches by 30 inches, as big as we could get to get guys up top, because this is our access to the trench storage and the long lumber storage on top of the truck. So they mounted a ladder right here, and that gives us access to the top of the truck. So we're up on the truck looking at some of our dunnage compartments. We have two long ones on the back of the truck on each side. One thing that we really wanted and SVI was able to accommodate was a one-piece lid. A lot of these compartments you see are a two-piece lid with a divider in the middle with some kind of function to interlock the two lids. We wanted a one-piece lid with no divider so that we could get our long lumber and long tool storage in here. So again, SVI did an unbelievable job of manufacturing, designing these doors. They're very, very stiff, and I think we'll get a long life out of them. Again, this will be long lumber, long tool storage in these two compartments. Under this front compartment is where we'll store all of our trench rescue equipment. So we have ground pads that'll be in here, and our trench panels will be in here. On both sides of this compartment, we had SVI add rollers so that we can send panels down either side of the truck. This is our skylight that we had them build. Again, it's 30 by 30. We had to make it as big as we could. And instead of a glass top, we had a diamond plate so that we can walk across it when we're trying to get panels down. Okay, we'll start going through the compartments down the side of the truck. We traditionally at PFA have always done swing door style instead of roll-ups. There is one roll-up door on this truck that we'll go over. But we've just found that we are a fan of pan doors or swing doors just because it doesn't eat up a lot of that compartment space at the top of them. They're very simple to open and close. There's not a lot of things to go wrong on a swing door. On this first compartment, this is a compartment that we kind of dedicated to the driver of the apparatus. So on this wall, we have a secure all for his air pack. So his air pack, and we left a lot of open space for all of his gear. So his hand tools, all of his bunker gear. We wanted to create a space for him, again, to create less clutter in the cab. So he has a designated compartment. And then within this compartment is kind of our catch-all for a lot of components to operate off the side of the truck. So we have a big electrical reel and a junction box down here. And then our controls for our light tower are in here. And you can also turn off the generator from this compartment too. And then down below, we have outlets to provide 120, 220, and air power to any tools we have to operate. So again, it was kind of a compartment to house a lot of the operations that the driver would be taken care of and all of his gear. In this compartment is the control for the command light tower. So we mounted a command light KL series 120,000 lumen tower to the top of the cab, and it's on top of the cab, and we have a shroud around the light tower itself to protect it. Again, for the kind of the theme of this truck that we talked about earlier was simplicity. So you'll notice when we go around this truck that there's not a lot of pull-out trays, dividers to pull out. We wanted to keep this truck as simple as we can. So majority of the compartments, you'll see just a shelf that we can adjust anytime we want and change inventories for equipment in the future. This one, we did have a Lista tool cabinet put into the compartment. We're really excited about this. This would give us a great place to put all those random loose tools that always just get thrown in a compartment. So hopefully this will help really clean up this compartment. Moving to the next compartment. Again, a pretty plain compartment. Just one divider that's fixed so it doesn't move, and a couple shelves so we can move wherever we want when we start equipping this truck. Another feature we put on this truck is this bed liner type material. We've been doing this for years now at PFA, so we spray the bottom about 4, 5, 6 inches of the compartment just to help with all the tools going in and out and the durability of the compartment. We don't typically coat the body of the compartments. You'll see that they're bare aluminum. Again, just for simplicity, if it gets beat up, that's okay. This is a work truck, so it kind of matches what we did inside the cab about keeping things really simple. If they get beat up, that's okay. So we don't coat the inner compartments. They're just left bare aluminum. To go over some of the features around the wheel well area, we have a receiver that we have up here in front of this front axle, rated at 9,000 pounds. And this one's a winch capable receiver. So inside this door that they put here is where we can pin it and then also have power for the winch supply. Another product we have on this truck that we're excited to use, we haven't before, is this Technique E60 backup light. So when your truck is put in reverse, that light illuminates the area around the tandem axles to hopefully give the driver better visibility of those areas in the dark. So we're excited to try this product. We have a portable winch, an 8,000 pound Warren winch that will go in these receivers. This one's duplicated on the other side. Again, another compartment that's pretty bare. This will hold a lot of our cribbing on this side. So just stacked with 4x4s, 6x6s, and on this side we'll store some chains, snatch blocks, anything like that for winch operations. Still in the wheel well, one feature we've been using at PFA for a long time are these cat's eye tire pressure indicators. So there's a little yellow cat's eye in there, and if the tire pressure is too low, they open up. So it's something that we really like for our drivers on a daily inspection. They can walk around real quick and check the tire pressure. Still on the wheel well, because we live in the Rockies and it's snowy during a lot of the months, we have on-spot tire chains in front of these axles. And there's also an interaxle differential lock and a differential lock. So hopefully that'll keep us responding to calls. In the middle of the wheel well here, we have a 3-bay compartment for SCBA bottle storage. And then in the back is our fuel fill. We've been building trucks for a while now with a fuel fill on each side, so it makes it easier for our drivers to pull into a fill station. It doesn't matter what side they're on, they can fuel on either one. You can see on the side of the body, we have these poly rub rails, 3 different levels to protect the side of it. Again, another very basic compartment. We tried to be very, very simple. So this last compartment on the driver's side, this is one we were talking about. This is our one roll-up door on the truck. And the reason we went with that, this stores our big fans. And what we've found in the past is we've had a lot of trouble getting fans in and out of a compartment between 2 doors that are a little bit tighter. So we wanted to make this compartment as accessible as we could. So we put in a slide out tray and a roll up door so the guys won't have a trouble getting fans in and out. On the top couple shelves here is where our saws will go, our chainsaws and our rotary saws. So here we are at the back of the truck. We spent a lot of time working with SVI in the back of this truck and design and features of it to make it very simple and user-friendly. One thing that we were really looking for is a clean doorway to get in and out of the body. So what we did is we recessed these doors, so typically they're not recessed with the edge of the walkway. So SVI bumped those out a little bit farther and made it really nice and clean from a transition from the door into the body. Back here is that ladder storage module. So we have a 28, a 16, and a 14. Again, we had them mount the New Yorks in these tubes. Originally, they were supposed to be mounted on the outside of this ladder storage module, but putting them inside there eliminates a lot of those snag hazards. Underneath the steps here is a Warren 16.5 winch. It matches the one that's on the front bumper and other winches within the department to keep operation simple for users. One other thing that we worked real hard with SVI is getting these toe eyes extended out. We wanted them as low as possible in the step, but also have the eyelets exposed, not inside the body, so it's easy to get chain or webbing around it. And another feature we did was, instead of adding another step to drop down, in order to keep it simple, we added a kneeling feature to this truck. So we can control that in the cab or back here at this switch. It'll dump at 4.5 inches and make ingress and egress a little bit easier in the cab and also or into the walkway, and also make pulling out ladders a little bit easier. We wanted to keep the rear body really clean and simple, so we have a unitized light assembly. One feature that we have on this truck that's brand new for us is the traffic advisor at top isn't your traditional Whelen traffic advisor bar. We did individual Whelen ion lights. The idea was to spread that traffic advisor out, so hopefully people approaching an accident can get a better visibility of which way we're trying to push them. So that's something new for us. We have rollers up top of the body. Again, in these two compartments, we'll store long lumber. The rollers give us just a little bit more protection and an ease of getting equipment down from the top roof, and a backup camera. We have a lit handrail on this side. On both sides, they're backlit red to match the cab. We deleted one handle from this side so it doesn't interfere with removing ladders or New York tools. And again, the switches on the walkway are recessed to reduce snags. Moving to this back compartment on the officer side, this is our extrication compartment. So this truck will be responsible for extrication calls within PFA. We have extrication tools that we mount on the front bumper, and then the rest of them go in here. We'll carry a TNT porta pump with a cutter and spreader. SVI did a great job of building these holders where the hydraulic hoses will go into, so they're stored neatly. And then we'll carry a Storm 2 battery powered cutter and spreader, and then also rams will go in here, and then other various tools for extrication. Again, on this side, this is one that we duplicated that driver compartment, the first one on the driver's side. So on this one, you'll see the same components. We have an electrical reel, a junction box, 120, 220, and air outlet. So we wanted those same components on each side of the truck. So again, on the officer side, the wheel well area is just a complete mirrored image of the other side. Fuel fill, SCBA storage, and receiver that is winch capable. One thing we missed on the other side is we have our chocks. We put them both on the driver and officer side. Not necessarily that they'll be used 100% for this truck, but we also use them to chalk cars or big rigs on extrication calls too. So we have two sets of them. We missed on the other side that we have a receiver on the back corner, and we have one under the front bumper corner. So we have 4 receivers on each side of the truck, a back, a front, a mid, and an upper one. Again, going through the compartments, very simple. We have an extinguisher storage module on this one, and this one will house a lot of our equipment used for confined space rescue. Moving on to the next one. This compartment here will also be used for cribbing to mirror the other side. So this will be nothing but 6x6 wedges, 4x4s, all sorts of wood cribbing for stabilization. Like I said before, we had SVI add a high mount receiver, so it's directly above this lower one to go with the other 3 on the side of the body. This compartment here, we had SVI build an airbag storage module to put our airbags. Like we pointed out earlier, we had a set of big bags that wouldn't fit, so those will go in that ladder storage module, and the rest of them will go in this one. We got some long handled tools and items like that will go in here. So again, just very simple. We can add shelves if we need more. SVI is right down the street, so if we need another shelf, we can just call them up and get one made. Second compartment on the officer side. This one's set up to hold all of our gray Paratech struts. So one of the big benefits of having SVI, who's in our backyard, build this truck was the accessibility to mount equipment. So when it came to lay out this compartment, we were able to bring our full inventory of struts out here and actually physically put the struts in the compartment, and they laid it out exactly the way we wanted it. So that's where all of our gray struts will go, and all the components that go with the struts. We also had SVI build a bunch of poly boxes that'll hold feet and other components for those struts. This compartment's kind of a continuation of that other compartment, but it'll hold our gold struts. So again, we brought all of our gold struts out here, and SVI was able to lay it out and put all the mounts exactly where they needed to be. Additionally, on this side of the divider is where we'll store chains. So they did a great job at creating a place to hook chain. Chain will fall into the box, and you can also loop it up over the pegs to increase the efficiency of storage. So here at the front of the truck, we have a Whelen 81-inch light bar, and right below it is a 40-inch rigid scene light. That should illuminate everything we need on the front of the truck. One other item we had SVI add is a look-down mirror. That item is new to us. So what we're finding, we've had accidents where drivers can't quite see this corner when making a wide turn. So we're hoping that a look-down mirror will give them better visibility and start eliminating some of those minor accidents. Under this lid is where we're going to store another set of battery powered Storm 2 TNT extrication tools. So we'll have a cutter and spreader. On the outside of each one of these compartments is a hose, or is a well that will store more items for extrication and winch operations. On the front of it, you'll see we have another winch. Again, this is a Warren 16.5 winch. It matches the one in the back so that they're duplicates. We had SVI add rubber bumpers and red toe eyes to the front of it. You'll see that these headlights are new to us too. We just went to these high-vis Paratech headlights. That's the halo function. So when your marker lights are on, the halo function will stay on these lights. So that's something new to us that we're excited to use are these Paratech headlights. They're made specifically for the fire service.